Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Sister Wives: Why Robyn and Kody Brown keep Ariella on leash. Why do Sister Wives stars Robyn and Kody Brown keep their youngest daughter, Ariella, on a leash? Some eagle-eyed fans noticed this in an older episode and immediately started to question this. So is there a reason this is happening, and was it a one-time occurrence? Keep reading for more details. Sister Wives: Why Robyn and Kody Brown keep Ariella on leash. Kody and Robyn Brown have been called out in the past for how Ariella behaves and how they raise her. She has been seen with a pacifier in her mouth beyond the recommended age. Additionally, viewers have noted how unkempt she appears. Now there is a new gripe for the Sister Wives stars to deal with. An old episode has resurfaced where Ariella is allegedly seen with what appears to be a leash on her. I am doing a rewatch of season 18. At the top of episode 1, minute 3, there is a flashback to everyone unloading the van as they move into the rentals in Flagstaff. We see Mindy walking with Ariella, and she is clearly wearing a harness and a pink leash. Mindy has 2 hands on that leash. Apparently, this is because Ariella is tough to handle and control. A follower added this in for some additional context. Kid is feral ass. She climbed in one of the tanks at the aquarium in Kody. Robyn and the nanny were all there. No, not on the show. They were seen in the wild by a fan, and it was reported, I think, on one of the subs. Yes, she ended up in a wildlife water feature, had 3 adults keeping an eye on her. More so, this was further elaborated on in a Sister Wives group as Ariella was allegedly chasing a sea cucumber. She thought she could catch it and fell in, or so Kody Brown supposedly told a patron. Therefore, it appears that a leash and harness were the best option. Brown behavioral issues. Ariella Brown is not the only child in the family who has behavioral problems. Fans may recall that Pudden Brown slapped Gwendolyn Brown, and they have not recovered from that incident. Yes, it was years ago, but it has hindered their adult relationship. However, when it comes to Robyn and Kody Brown utilizing a harness and a leash, what did fans have to say? Were they shocked, or did they think it made sense? I will never shame a parent for leashing their kids. Some kids will run off every chance they get. They are so distractible. I definitely think they are overbearing and controlling in some ways, but it seems Ari runs the show at their place. Ironic that you never saw Robyn holding the leash, always the nanny. Well, IMO Ariella seems to be a mini Kody, so she's probably a handful and out of control, so they probably have to keep her on a leash. The sun cast a gentle glow over the vast expanse of Flagstaff, Arizona, where the Brown family's multiple houses stood like silent sentinels against the backdrop of the rugged desert landscape. The air was thick with an unspoken tension, a palpable sense of change that had settled over the Sister Wives household like an unwelcome guest. At the center of this swirling storm was a curious sight that had become the subject of whispers and raised eyebrows among the family and fans alike. Robyn and Kody Brown keeping their youngest daughter, Ariella, on a leash. Ariella, with her bright eyes and infectious laughter, had always been a bundle of energy, a whirlwind of curiosity and mischief. Yet as she approached her 5th birthday, there was something increasingly noticeable about the way her parents, particularly Robyn and Kody, interacted with her. The leash, a soft, colorful harness that attached to Robyn's wrist, was always present, a physical reminder of the control they sought to exert over their youngest child. To the outside world, it seemed an odd and perhaps even overbearing measure. But within the walls of the Brown family's homes, it was a symbol of much deeper issues. Robyn sat in her living room, the leash wrapped loosely around her wrist, as she watched Ariella play with a set of wooden blocks on the floor. Her eyes, usually warm and inviting, were clouded with worry. Kody entered the room, his face a mask of frustration and concern. "We need to talk," he said, his voice low and serious. Robyn nodded, her gaze never leaving Ariella. "I know." The couple sat down at the kitchen table, a place that had witnessed countless family discussions, arguments, and heart-to-hearts over the years. Today it felt heavy with the weight of unspoken fears and anxieties. "Kody, do you think we're doing the right thing?" Robyn asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Kody ran a hand through his hair, a gesture that had become all too familiar in recent months. "I don't know, Robyn. I just don't know. But what else can we do? She's so different." Ariella's differences had become increasingly apparent as she grew older. Her energy, her curiosity, her fearlessness. They were all traits that in another context might have been celebrated, but in the tightly knit and often tumultuous Brown family, they posed a challenge. Ariella's adventurous spirit meant she was constantly pushing boundaries, both physical and emotional. She wandered off during family outings, climbed anything that could be climbed, and had a penchant for disappearing into her own world of imagination, often losing track of her surroundings. For Robyn and Kody, these behaviors were a source of constant anxiety. They had always prided themselves on their ability to manage their large and complex family, but Ariella's unpredictability was something they hadn't encountered before. "We can't let her get hurt," Kody continued, his eyes filled with a mix of determination and helplessness. "And we can't let her put herself or the other kids in danger." Robyn nodded, her heart etching with the weight of her husband's words. She knew he was right. But the sight of her daughter tethered to her wrist felt like a failure on her part as a mother. She wanted to nurture Ariella's spirit, not stifle it. "Maybe we should talk to the other wives," Robyn suggested, her voice tinged with desperation. "Maybe they can help us find a better way." Kody sighed, the lines on his face deepening. "We can try, but you know how they are. Everyone has their own opinions, their own ways of doing things. It's hard enough to keep the peace as it is." The other wives, Mary, Janelle, and Cristin, had their own children, their own challenges. And while they were a family in name and spirit, the reality of their situation was that each wife had her own household, her own rules, her own way of parenting. The idea of asking for help felt both necessary and fraught with potential conflict. Later that evening, the Brown family gathered for one of their regular meetings. The children played outside, their laughter and shouts echoing through the night air. Inside, the adults sat in a circle, the atmosphere tense but hopeful. Robyn took a deep breath, clutching the leash in her hand as she began to speak. "We need to talk about Ariella." The room fell silent, all eyes on Robyn. She felt Kody's reassuring hand on her shoulder, giving her the strength to continue. "She's different," Robyn said, her voice trembling. "She's so full of life and curiosity, and we love that about her, but it's overwhelming. We don't want to stifle her, but we need to keep her safe." Mary, the eldest wife, nodded thoughtfully. "I understand. It's hard when a child is so spirited. You want to encourage them, but you also have to set boundaries." Janelle, always pragmatic, leaned forward. "Have you considered any professional help? Maybe a child psychologist or a specialist who can give